Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Friday Business Intelligence Tip. Today, we're going to be talking about how to change the source database for multiple SQL Server views at one time in bulk. Now, the reason I bring up this topic is we oftentimes have our system pointed to, let's say, a test system or a test database, and oftentimes people want to switch that over to production or repoint it on a new system. And one of the places that we maintain some of those pointers is in a set of database views. And so what I wanted to go through today is how we quickly do that on a number of views at once. Now, there's many ways of doing it, as many things go in SQL Server. So I'm going to show you the way that I typically do it without getting too fancy. And that is, I just showed SQL Management Studio here, as many of you are probably aware. And when I click on views, we have a number of database views down here that they all start with VW underscore in our particular case, that I need to change this at once. So for instance, if I do let's say design on this view, what that's going to do is it's going to open up into a wizard here, and you'll notice it's got a database that it's pointed to. Now, I could go one by one into each of these database views and change that, but that would be a slow process because, like in this case, I've got probably about 60 or 70 of them to do. But one of the things that you can do, and oftentimes people aren't aware of this, is if I click back up on views and I go up to the view menu here at the top and say Object Explorer Details, it will give me the list over here in the right. Now, what I can do is I can multiple select these views all at once. I'm going to sort it by name because I like to have it sorted by name because all the ones I want to change start with VW underscore. But I can control click or shift control, select more than one at once. And if I do that, I can then right click and say script that view. And what I'm going to do is I drop and create to a new query editor window. What that's going to do is it's going to generate the source of all of those views into the window over here on the right. And now in this case, it generated some garbage I don't need. It's doing some of the diagramming kind of commands to that as well. So what I'm going to do is wait for it to finish here, and should be done in just a second. And when that's done, I will come in here. Usually it doesn't take this long. There we go. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get rid of some of this extra, these extra commands at the top, the drop extended properties and so forth. I'm just going to shift and get rid of that. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom because it also generates at the bottom here a number of extra extended commands where it's recreating it. And I really don't want to do that. Now, it may not do that on yours, but I had some additional diagrams and so forth I had put in there. So I'm just going to get rid of all that because I don't want to recreate that. So as I get rid of all of those, you'll notice what it did was it generated drop commands for all of those because I told it to do a drop. And then if I go further down, it did the recreate. Now, if I want to change that database on all of them, what I do is I just do edit, find and replace. So if I find and might replace, and I'll do a quick replace. Anywhere I want to see, in my case, Lawson apps 9, I can replace with Lawson apps 10. So I want to go to Lawson apps 10 database instead of 9. And if I do replace all, making sure it's on the current document, it did that 73 times. So now all my views are set to be pointed to 10 instead of 9. Now, if I wanted to actually run this, I would just go up here to execute, and it would run this by dropping and recreating. Now, I suggest you take a copy of that script before you run it, so just so you have a backup to get back to it. But other than that, that's all you would have to do to recreate those views pointed to the new database rather than the old database. I'm not going to run that on mine because I don't want to point those at the moment, but that's how you can quickly select a number of views, repoint them to a different location. That works if you're pointing it to a linked server, for instance. So A lot of times maybe the views aren't going to a database on your existing server. That link server syntax I've went over in other sessions will just be another part of the text. And so you just replace that link server name with whatever it is. So that's one way that you can quickly change a number of the view syntax just in one bulk step rather than one by one. As always, as I'm going through this, if you do have any suggestions, email those to info@dashboardgear.com. We're looking for topics to cover each week. We've been doing these about every other Friday, it seems like. That's kind of the rate that I've been getting to this, and I'll like to continue to do that, but looking forward to any suggestions that you have, anything you're struggling with. We're probably going to be getting into a round of Power BI type topics because we're getting much more into the Power BI realm and getting a lot more items in that. So I'll probably be going through a series related to Power BI in the upcoming weeks. But if you do have anything, send it our way and I'd be happy to do that. So until next time, good luck in all your business intelligence endeavors and we'll talk to you later. Thank you.